Hey, you guys, thank you for tuning in with Coach Kizzy and Majestic Life Solutions. So, I did tell you that I was gonna do. Remember that last night or either this morning when I told you I said we are gonna talk about the drug addiction, okay? And I'm gonna have some questions for you, and we're gonna talk about self reflection questions. We're gonna talk about self reflection questions and goal setting questions. And then what's today? Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. 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 So yeah, we're gonna talk about them because I already had gave you the um the self reflection, but we're gonna do those two. Let me see. Yeah, we'll split it up. I'll figure out when I get off, but we're gonna do. But it's all that's everything that's on here is self reflection questions, it's goal setting, it's support system questions, it's coping strategies, it's motivation and commitment, it's future planning questions, it's accountability, and then next week it's gonna be replacing drug addictions with lifetime goals. Okay, and then the week after we're gonna be talking about living sober, like how do you what would you feel, like living sober or something like that. First question of living sober is, what does living sober means to you personally? That's like the first question. So that's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna do Nope, I'm probably not gonna do it right now. I need to get in the tub. No. Yeah, we're gonna do it. Let's go ahead and do it. Okay. So drug addictions, I had a drug addiction. I overcame that obstacle in my life. So my help is for, you to become a better version of yourself. You can't become a better version of yourself and you doing that. And then in my belief system, I'm gonna tell you my belief system. I'm gonna tell you my belief system. And maybe people probably say, oh, he just telling us stuff. But this is my belief system. Like when I just feel like you can't hear God's voice, because when I was on them drugs, He told me to get off, but I didn't hear. I was on them drugs. I couldn't hear His voice. I couldn't hear nothing. What nothing? It was something that was blocking it, and it was the drugs. You understand what I'm saying? So when I started getting off, it was like basically I started hearing God's voice more. You understand what I'm saying? But when He told me to, you put that to your mouth again, you're gonna die. And I mean, I laugh on it because it's an experience of mine, and the only thing I can do is relate to somebody that does it. You know what I'm saying? So self reflection questions: what led you to start using drugs? You have to ask yourself that. What started you to using drugs? Because it's always something that led you to using drugs. Me, I'm not gonna tell you about me. I just want I'm not gonna tell you about me because that's my testimony. No, I was playing. Like what led me to using drugs was at the time my mom had passed away, and then one of my friends, they was already doing drugs or whatever. And curiosity killed the cat. I was always curious about it, but I just didn't like nothing going up my nose. I did not like anything going up my nose. I was like, going up your nose? My mama couldn't put no spray up my nose. They used to have Coke on the plate. I used to blow their Coke off. I used to blow it off because I didn't understand why they was doing it and putting up their nose. But I kept looking and looking at it, and I kept looking. I was like, they seem like they having fun. And that was in my head. It seemed like they having fun. So I'm already coping with my mama passing and all that stuff, and trying to find love. Love not working. So I'm like, okay, well, I told them, I said, you know what? I'm gonna try it on their next birthday. Their birthday came, and I tried it. I tried it, and I said, "Ooh, I like this feeling." And after then, I kept doing drugs, and it just helped me cope through life. What That's what I felt like. It helped me. It helped me cope through life. It the problems that I was just holding in. It just helped me cope through life. So that's what I felt like it did, but it really didn't. It was a blockage. It was a blockage of life. You understand what I'm saying? So number two, how do you feel when you use them? I feel like if you want the real true answers of me, when I used them, I felt like I was on top of the world. It puts you there like you on top of the world. Like I just sat back and I just chill. I meditate. I look like I'm on top of the world. You can't tell me nothing. I got this, man. You know, yeah. But I got this, man. You can't tell me that I'm not high. And then so with Coke, I just, I couldn't talk. It was like, I'm serious, like how I said that I think that I had a light stroke because my lips, if you see my lips, well, you just gotta pay attention to it. But like I couldn't talk on Coke. So I was like, this is how I used to talk. I'd be like, that's how I talk. Like I know how to talk, but if I was on Coke, you would know I'm on Coke because I couldn't say no words. I had to write it on a piece of paper what I had to say. You understand what I'm saying? And so then when I transform over to doing methamphetamine, it was I could talk. I was like, oh, I kind of like this a little bit better because I can talk to people. People don't even know I'm high. And I was like, people just don't, oh, they don't even know I'm high. I'm high too. Oh, I'm high. But they don't know I'm high. Child, please, my eyes just be like this, knowing I'm high. Like, I knew I knew I was high, but then nobody, I was like, you have it in your mind, like, don't nobody know I'm high. Don't nobody have it. Yeah, don't nobody know I'm high. I'm just gonna just play it off. Don't nobody know I'm high or whatever. But at the end of the day, that I was already doing it. Then like some of my friends who was like, we're gonna all try it together. But they did not know that I already had did it. I was doing that and Coke at the same time because I didn't understand the feeling of methamphetamine. I didn't understand that feeling. And so I needed both. Greedy? Yes, I was greedy. I needed both because I didn't understand that feeling. I didn't understand what met supposed to do. It wasn't doing nothing. So I was like, you know what? I'm used to this old feeling. So I need to get back to that feeling. So I did both at the same time. So and then so methamphetamine is just take you on a roadmap. It take you on a roadmap. When I tell you take you on a roadmap, it does. It really does. And and a lot of people say it's a sex drug. It is. But let me tell you, some of the things that people you say that it does and all that stuff, it's a mind thing. You got to have a strong mind to be on that type of drug because if you don't, you will lose it. I'm dead serious. You have to have a strong mind. I've seen a lot of my friends actually pass away on it, or their mind is just gone. You understand? So you have to actually have a strong mind because if you don't have a strong mind doing that stuff, you will crash out. You'll be delusional, schizophrenia, all kinds of stuff. You will be. You will if we get to that point. I'm telling you, you would think people actually looking at you. You'll see things moving. You see all kinds of stuff. Like really, for real, you'll see all kinds of stuff. Like I was floating on a cloud one day. Like when I'm driving, I was floating, but I wasn't realizing that it's just a drug. It was all imagination thing. So therefore, you have to know what you're doing. I'd rather for nobody to ever do it, ever try it. Don't never try it. Don't never do it because that is no drug is good for you. But you can't tell people you can't tell people, oh, you get off of this and you do all that, you do that. Because I had addiction. I had addiction. So I'm not no better than nobody else. I can't tell a person, oh, just because I stopped doing it, you need to stop doing it. It don't work like that. Life don't work like that. You understand what I'm saying? Life works as in if a person is ready to cope without a drug. Whenever they journey starts, when they say, okay, you know what, it's time for me to throw that stuff in the trash. That's when a journey starts. You can't make anyone get off of a drug unless they're a child. If they're a grown adult, you can't make nobody do anything that they don't want to do. That's off their will. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to let that type of journey with drugs, that type of journey, you have to let a person decide on that for real, because you can go to rehab all day long, but if you go to rehab as soon as you get out, if I would have went to rehab and I got out, I would have been ready for a hit. I would have been ready for a hit, because at the simple for one is, when you go into rehab, you ain't doing nothing but talking to somebody, right? They're not giving you no medicine, no drug, or anything to make you quit. You only talking. It's a group session that you're talking and trying to figure out what trauma is holding you back from what's holding you these drugs for you to keep on doing these drugs. That's something that rehab is doing, right? You have group meetings. Yes, I have a addiction. I have a drug addiction. That's the only thing that's doing. So therefore, I cope off of I cope well. I got myself off of it. I rehab myself. I rehab myself by talking to myself. I used to wake up out my sleep talking to myself. And people, oh, he's crazy. And no, I'm not crazy. You don't know what I'm talking about. You understand what I'm saying? I did myself. I got myself off of drugs because I woke up out my sleep talking to myself. And that's how my community of my getting off of drugs, that's how it helped me. I talk to myself. So they don't do number talk. They don't do number talk in the meetings. So I talk to myself to get myself off of those drugs. You understand what I'm saying? So you just gotta understand that journey. That journey is hard. That's a hard journey, and it's coming from right here in my heart. That's a hard journey, and people want to say, "Oh, you can just do that, just get off of that." Like, hey, you have to let a person ride their own roadmap. You got to let a person go down their own journey on that. You understand what I'm saying? So it's all about talking and a commitment that you really want to commit to yourself, that you want to get off. You understand what I'm saying? So don't never push nobody, because you'll push somebody going crazy. You understand what I'm saying? So what are the positive and negative effect that the drug use? Well, I'll be already explaining the stuff. It can be like it can cause your body to sunk in. I mean, I have pictures where, like, my normal weight is I don't never lose weight like that, because I still eat. I still eat. My normal weight is 125. And I don't think I lost is like, what, probably about 10 pounds, because I was like 15 pounds. 110. I was 110, Okay. I was a little bitty itty. Just 110. My normal weight is 125. And the only thing the drugs did to me is got me down to 110. That's it. That's it. Because I'm still gonna eat. I used to eat on I used to have me a burger and smoke at the same time. But on Coke, I couldn't eat. I couldn't eat, and I couldn't chew bubble gum. Bubble gum, if I put bubble gum in my mouth, it'll melt. I don't know if my breath was funky, or my breath stank, or whatever it was, but I couldn't eat. You know what I'm saying? So it just melted. It was hot. Hot breath. So can you identify the triggers that lead you to drugs use? My triggers was bored. Bored. Oh, I'm bored. That give me an excuse to use drugs. That gave me an excuse. Oh, I'm so bored. I'm so bored. Ain't nothing to do. Ain't nothing to do. I'm so bored. And I'll be at the dope house. You understand what I'm saying? And if I don't got no money, I'm gonna make a way. I'm gonna go to somebody's house that got some drugs. I'm gonna do some drugs. It's not funny, but it's the truth. You understand what I'm saying? It's not funny, but it's the truth. And your journey is probably different than mine, but this is my journey. You understand what I'm saying? But I will call somebody else, call my friend, come pick me up. If I have no car, come pick me up. Because I know they got a whole lot of them over there. And I'm supposed to go over there and I'm supposed to sit all day, all morning. And I'm supposed to do all that. Well, I can't do it. He been having a whole lot. I can do all that. But that was, and then I had to realize you got a problem, boy. You really got a problem. Oh, excuse me if you heard that. You really got a problem because I had to pass gas tonight. But I really had a problem. I really had a problem. I had a drug habit. You understand what I'm saying? For where I was and where I am now, I feel great. You understand what I'm saying? It might not look like I feel great. So you know that drug, it affects different parts of your bodies. You understand what I'm saying? It breaks down. Like my teeth, like this the bottom. Don't worry about the bottom, okay? Don't worry about the bottom. The bottom was a choice. But if you see my teeth right here, it's pushed back. That drug affects your jawbone, whatever it is, your teeth. It affects my teeth. My teeth is pushed back. If you ever see how that teeth long, it affects my teeth and all kinds of stuff like that. And then like this right here at the bottom part, that's because like on cocaine, that's when I used to chew the bag, and put powder on a cigarette and smoke it like that. And it's different effects that these drugs can have on your body. You understand? But we don't necessarily pay attention to that. You wanna know why? Because we high. We high. We don't care what nobody say. I'm gonna get high. That was my thing. I don't care what nobody say about me. I'm gonna get high. If you like, if you don't, oh well. I'm I'm a high, and that's how I used to be. I'm high. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Don't worry about it. If you don't do drugs, don't do drugs. I do it. That was my thing. So, what emotions do you experience when you think about your drug addictions? What emotions? I didn't have no emotions. I just knew I was high. and, and I make a joke out of it. You want to know why I make a joke out of it? Want to know why? Because a lot of people, if you watch this live, right? If you watch this live, you have to understand that drugs is not good for you, right? But I make a joke out of it because like if you need help basically coping to get off of drugs or anything like that, just say for instance, you'd be like, okay, well, I can really talk to that person because they make their stuff look easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. I relapsed plenty of times. I relapsed plenty of times. When I said, but I asked God to keep that away from me. I asked him to keep it away from me. You have to ask them to keep it away because if you don't, you will relapse. You will relapse. You will. And so that's what I pray. I pray to keep that away from me. Just I don't care about what nobody else do. You can do it. You can do it. And people say that I can be around anybody that's doing drugs. That don't mean I have to fall in suit. I don't have to fall in suit. I don't have to tell them you need to stop it. I don't. That's not my job. That's not my job. My job is to just look at you. If you're doing, I'll just look at you like, okay, okay, you know, okay. But you can't make nobody, not a grown individual, because it's gonna push them to start doing drugs more. When people is studied in their ear with negative things in their head, it's gonna drive you to do drugs more. I'm a living witness of it because people say, oh, you doing too much on them drugs. Oh, negative Nancy, you know. So it drove me to doing it more because I feel like I'm grown. Why you're in my life? Why you worrying about it? Are you a support system? Are you worrying about? Yeah, you're doing too much. All that. You ask the person, what leading you to doing drugs more? Do you feel like you have a problem or something? It's a way that you come to a person. You know, just ah, 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 all dead. That right there was like, just, ah, I'm serious. That would drive a person to do it more because you negative Nancy and you influence their brain with negative Nancy type things. Ask the person, be a support system. I say, like I would say, I see you've been doing. I see you've been, kind of heavy on the drugs. Is in it everything okay? That's how you gotta approach somebody. You don't approach. You need to get out them drugs. It's gonna make the individual go hard, man. Man, when I tell you I went hard, I went hard. It's gonna make you go. It's gonna make a person actually go get more drugs. Like that lady on house party when he said, "Raise your hands in the air." She said, "Did like that." It was that's how it was. That's how it was for real. So you got to know. You understand? Like for real, you got to be a support system for somebody. You can't just tell them. You can't tell a grown individual to say, "Oh, you got to stop doing this. Or you got to stop doing that." Or you their mother or they daddy or something. And if you are their mother or daddy, they grown individuals. You can't force nobody to because they making it. Listen, that's how you create your own journey. You creating your own journey. That individual is creating their own journey. So that's why the negative influence and stuff I can't be around. No, child. Let that person experience. This is part of their life journey. It's already written in the book of life. It's already written. If it's already written in the book of life, then can't nobody go through that person's journey with them if they are an adult. You can only be a support system for them. That's it. That's it. That's all. You can be a support system. You just because I've seen parents do that. I don't just want negative Nancy. Let that child experience life. This is life. If that child is doing not child, adult over the age of 21. that's an adult to me over the age of 21. If that child is experiencing something, let your child experience. This is part of life. This is part of it's already written in the book of life. Just because you had that child, let me tell you something. Just because you had that child doesn't mean that you have to control that child. Because their life, when you had that child, God already wrote a book on that child. So God already know if this person gonna do drugs. He already know if this person gonna go down the wrong way. He already know if he gonna murder somebody. He already know if this person gonna do whatever. That is their journey of life. It's already written. Ah, negative Nancy. So you have to be a support system for somebody. That's it. So goal setting questions. What are your short-term and long-term goals for recovery? My long-term goals, my short-term, I don't know past my short-term, long-term goals is to keep praying, to keep me away from it. Keep praying, keep me away, keep me strong, keep my mind strong as he been doing. Keep my mind strong to think about something positive instead of something negative. And I keep moving forward in life. So you got to do different things, okay? What does drug free life look like for you? A drug free life look like for what it look like for me. It'd be weird at times because I can't, I would never this for real. It'd be weird at times because I would never see myself off of drugs. I could never see myself off of drugs, and that's the God's honest truth. I could never see myself off of drugs because I was a party. I like to party. I like to get crunk. You know, I used to like to get crunk. I like to dance. I like to shake a tail feather. Do you understand what I'm saying? Shake a tail feather. So that's part of my turn up. And then I'm bored too. Child, I'm supposed to dance all night long on that floor. High. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know, that was my journey. That was my journey. You know, so it be weird, but it be weird at times. I'm like, dang, you just, but I smoke a lot of cigarettes and stuff now, and like for real, I smoke a lot. And but like when I was doing drugs, I didn't smoke cigarettes like that. It look like I got breasts. I don't got breasts. If you see it, look like breasts. I don't got breasts. It looked like it. Probably my muscles getting big because I've been exercising a little bit. Probably like if I got this little whatever thing called weight, but I pick it up every blue moon. I ain't gonna even tell you the story. But back to it. But it be weird at times, you know what I'm saying? Like it be weird, but I know that it's a better fit for my life. It's a better fit. And I like it. I like it so much better because the drugs that didn't do number I stayed up. I stayed up. Regardless, I stayed up. I like I'm nosy. So I think if I go to I thought if I go to sleep, I'm gonna miss something. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna miss something. So I'm gonna stay up all night and look around. And I used to be on the computer doing the same thing over and over. Just like how I'm reading these questions. These questions right here, I would have had to do these questions like 12 times if I was high. And I would have rearranged them, did them over, I would have been on the same page because I was stuck. I was stuck. I was stuck. That's why that's why my business didn't go nowhere because I was stuck, and I tried to make it look perfect, but ain't nothing perfect. But I was working on the same thing over and over. I worked on if I can go back and show you how many what is it called dog, I almost had it. What is that thing called? Whatever it's called. The Lego, the logo. I I changed my logo about 25,000 times. And I worked on that about a month. You understand? I was stuck. I was stuck. I was stuck. I was, man, I'm telling you, I got all kinds of logos. If I'm gonna show you one day, I got I got like 1,000 logos because wasn't nothing perfect. Wasn't nothing right. In my mind, I thought it was not right. I have a lot of logos on I'm serious. So just I mean, we're gonna finish this later because I'm done with this. But at the end of the day, if you're gonna move forward in life, you don't have to, but you have to just think about it in your mind that I want to move forward, but ain't no addiction is not gonna it's not gonna put me to move forward in life. It's a blockage of a lot of things in your life. And it was a blockage of a lot of things in my life. It was a blockage. But you know what? I coped through it. I coped through it. And thank God that I did not lose my mind. Thank God that I did not lose my mind because I just always that's the affirmation that I always say it all the time. I got a genius mind and I'm not gonna lose it. And I used to say that every day. I got a genius mind. I'm not gonna lose that. I got a genius mind. I'm not gonna lose that. I got a genius mind. I'm not gonna lose that. And I say it to myself all the time. And God heard that cry because I didn't lose my mind. I still got a little, like I still got a little bolts and screws, probably like not tighten. You know what I'm saying? That's with everybody. That's with everybody. Everybody, like, hey, everybody got that. You know. So you guys, that's it for me. But if did nobody tell you today that they love you, just know